Hello, my friends. And before we begin today's conversation, I want to ask you for a small favor that would mean the world to me. If you find value in what we talk about here, if these words touch something real inside you, please consider subscribing to this channel and helping us reach 1,000 subscribers. Your support allows us to keep creating content that truly matters, content that speaks to the real struggles and questions that men face every single day. Now, I want to invite the men listening today to take a deep breath and really listen, because what we are going to talk about can completely change the way you see the world and the way you see women. If you can truly understand this one big lesson, you will be able to let go of so much of that heavy frustration and confusion that so many men feel when they are trying to find a partner. I know that sounds like a very big promise, but I want you to walk with me through this story until we reach the very end. Once you see things this way, you will never look at attraction in the same old way again. First, let me tell you something very clearly. You do not have to chase women. I am going to say that one more time because it is so important and most men never really let it sink into their hearts. You do not have to chase women. The reason so many good men struggle with dating and relationships is because they feel like they are always running after something. They are running after attention, running after someone to tell them they are doing a good job, or running after a text message that hasn't come yet. They are chasing a feeling that they are good enough. Sometimes they are even chasing women who haven't shown that they deserve all that hard work and time. The saddest part is that most men don't even know they are doing it. They think they are just being nice or being persistent. They think they are proving how much they care, but they are actually making things harder for themselves. Every time a man puts what a woman thinks of him above his own self-respect, he loses a little bit of his own light. We are a group of caring experts who want to talk about how our hearts and minds work. And today we are going to talk about the truths that people are often too shy to say out loud. You see, chasing is not just an action you take. It becomes a way of thinking. It changes how you act every single day and the kind of feeling you bring into the room when you meet someone. When this mindset takes over, women can feel it. They respond to an energy that most men don't even know they are putting out there. That is where the trouble starts. Many men end up chasing because they don't realize what they are really looking for. They think they want the woman, but what they really want is to be told that they are handsome enough, or successful enough, or smart enough. The woman becomes like a mirror they are looking into, hoping to see a version of themselves that they can finally like. Think about how a man's behavior changes the moment he starts to like someone. He starts overthinking every single word in a text message. He spends hours wondering what a small comment meant. He replays every moment in his head like a movie, trying to find mistakes. One minute he is a calm, cool person, and the next minute he is worried that he is going to lose her interest. That isn't love or attraction. That is just worry and fear disguised as interest. There is a very big difference between wanting a woman and needing a woman. There is nothing wrong with wanting to have someone to share your life with. It is a beautiful thing to want romance or a relationship. But things get difficult when your happiness depends entirely on whether one person chooses you or not. Women have a special way of feeling this energy. They might not be able to put it into words, but they can tell when a man is just enjoying their company and when a man is desperate for them to say, "You are okay." One feels like a warm breeze, and the other feels heavy and difficult. It is a strange thing, but the more a man tries to get that okay from a woman, the less she feels drawn to him. This is why chasing almost never works. When you chase, you are telling the world something about yourself without even knowing it. You think you are showing how much you care, but the message she receives is often, "I don't feel like I am enough on my own, so I need you to tell me I am." That is when the spark starts to fade away. People are naturally drawn to those who are comfortable in their own skin. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be the richest person in the room or always say the smartest things. What people really love is someone who seems sure of who they are. They like a man who doesn't need every single moment to be perfect. They like a man who doesn't fall apart just because a text didn't come back right away. Imagine a man who can have a nice talk without worrying about where it's going or what he's going to get out of it. This is why some men get so confused. They see another guy who isn't richer or more handsome getting all the attention. They wonder why that is. The secret is that the other guy isn't trying to perform. He isn't trying to convince anyone he is a good guy. He already believes it. That belief changes the way he stands, the way he smiles, and the way he listens. Confidence is not something you say out loud. It is a feeling you give to others just by being there. On the other hand, feeling unsure of yourself can be felt even if you don't say a word. Once you understand this, you realize that being attractive is not about trying to impress others. It is about how you feel about yourself when you are all alone. A big mistake men make is thinking they need to do more to be liked. They think more texts, more gifts, more money, and more time will make a woman like them more. It sounds like it should work, but feelings don't always follow a plan. Sometimes the harder you try, the faster someone pulls away. This happens because the energy behind what you do matters more than the thing itself. Are you giving a gift because you truly want to make her smile, or are you giving it because you hope it will make her like you? There is a giant gap between those two things. A man who gives because he is happy feels strong. A man who gives because he wants a reward feels like he is begging. Women are very good at feeling that difference. You can take someone to the fanciest dinner in the world, but if you are doing it just to earn points, it won't feel good. Then you see a man who barely does anything but is just happy to be there, and he gets the results you wanted. It isn't unfair. It is just the difference between looking for a yes and just being yourself. One man is acting like there isn't enough love in the world, while the other acts like his life is already full. This brings us to a very important lesson. Most men think they are trying to connect, but they are actually just looking for a sign that things are going well. They are looking for confirmation. Does she like me? Did I say that right? Am I good enough? You cannot truly get to know another person if you are busy checking to see if they like you. Think about a time you were talking to a woman and you were so worried about what she thought of you. Were you really listening to her story? Were you really there with her? Or were you inside your own head looking at her face to see if she was bored? When we are with our best friends, we don't do this. We are just there. We are relaxed. We are ourselves. But when a man sees a woman he likes, he often stops being a friend and starts being a performer. We want to help you understand how people think so your whole life gets better, not just your dating life. When you stop trying to be the best and start just being you, the pressure goes away. The talk becomes easy. For the first time, you are letting a real connection grow instead of squeezing the life out of it by needing to be told you are doing great. Seeking that okay from someone else is like a drug because it feels so good for a second. When she laughs at your joke or texts you back fast, you feel like you are on top of the world. You feel handsome and important, but that feeling is borrowed. It doesn't belong to you. The moment she gets busy or her mood changes, your happiness falls down. If she doesn't reply for a few hours, you feel sick or worried. If she is quiet, you think you did something wrong. You have handed the steering wheel of your feelings to someone else. That is a scary place to be. People naturally respect a man who has his own center of gravity. This means a man whose mood doesn't go up and down based on a phone screen. He doesn't need a woman to tell him he is valuable because he has already built a life that makes him feel proud. This is why we always say you should focus on yourself. This doesn't just mean lifting weights or making money. It means becoming a man who loves his own life so much that a woman is like a beautiful addition to a house that is already built well. When your life is bigger than your need for someone to like you, something magic happens. You stop chasing and people start noticing you in a new way. One of the biggest reasons people are drawn to some and not others is something called presence. Most men are in the room with their bodies, but their minds are far away. They are thinking about their next move or wondering if they look okay. They are trying to see the future before the present has even happened. Because they are stuck in their own heads, they miss everything. A woman could be giving him every sign that she likes him, but he won't see it because he is too busy watching himself. A man who is truly there feels solid. He listens because he actually cares what she is saying. He notices the little things. He doesn't try to force a spark because he is okay with letting things happen naturally. Think about when you feel most sure of yourself. You probably weren't thinking at all. You were just doing. That is what we want. The more you are just there, the less you worry about being accepted. And ironically, that is exactly when you become the most attractive version of yourself. It happens when you stop acting and start just showing up as you are. I will keep saying this. The answer is not to spend more time running after women. The answer is to spend that time building yourself. Many men are taught that a woman is the prize at the end of a race, so they spend all their energy trying to win that prize. They organize their whole lives around getting dates and attention, then they feel tired and empty. But a man who is focused on his own path in life moves differently. He isn't waiting for someone to give him permission to be happy. He has goals and hobbies and things that make his heart beat fast. He has a clear direction. This makes him less needy naturally, not because he is playing a game, but because he actually has things to do. If someone doesn't text him back, he might be a little sad, but his whole day isn't ruined. He has big things to work on. Women are often drawn to a man who is moving toward a dream. It's not just about the money, it is about the fire inside him. A man who is growing and learning has a special kind of energy. You can't fake it. Meanwhile, the man who spends all day worrying about what women think often forgets to do the very things that would make him a better man. You might have heard people talk about having a frame. Some people think this means being mean or acting like you don't care. That isn't it at all. In fact, acting tough is often just another way of trying to get people to think you are cool. Real frame is actually very simple and kind. It means knowing who you are before anyone else even shows up. It means having your own rules, your own values, and your own path that doesn't change just because someone is looking at you. It means being okay with yourself, whether someone likes you or not. Many men struggle because they don't have this foundation yet. They feel good when a woman is nice to them, but as soon as they face a no or a bit of silence, they crumble. Their mood changes, their confidence hides, and they start trying to fix it by chasing again. A man with a strong heart doesn't work that way. He still feels things, and he can still feel a bit down if things don't go his way, but those feelings don't define him. He is bigger than one person's opinion of him. He is consistent. People notice when a man doesn't change who he is just to get attention. They notice when a man doesn't drop everything just because someone called. They notice when a man already knows his own worth. When a man reaches this point, his whole world changes. The men who get the most love and attention are often the ones who stopped making it the most important thing in their lives. At the end of the day, it all comes down to this. Stop making women the center of your life and start making yourself the center. This isn't being mean or selfish. It is actually the most helpful thing you can do. When you build your identity around what others think, you are always in danger. You are at the mercy of every text or every look. But when you build yourself first, everything gets better. You don't walk into a room hoping people like you. You walk into a room hoping you enjoy yourself. You don't spend hours writing a text. You just say what you feel. You don't need someone to tell you that you are valuable because you have proven it to yourself by how you live, how you work, and how you treat others. It is funny, isn't it? The men who spend the most time chasing often find it the hardest to get what they want. But the men who focus on their own health, their own growth, and their own future find that people are naturally drawn to them. Movement and purpose show strength and direction. Let me tell you more about what this really means in your everyday life. When you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing you think about? If it is checking to see if she texted you back, then you have already given away your power before your day has even started. A man who is living for himself wakes up thinking about what he wants to accomplish that day, what new skill he wants to learn, what problem he wants to solve, or what adventure he wants to have. The woman he is interested in might cross his mind, and that is natural and beautiful, but she is not the sun that his whole planet revolves around. This shift in thinking is what separates men who struggle in dating from men who seem to have natural success with women. It is not about looks or money or saying the perfect thing. It is about where your mental and emotional energy is focused. When your energy is focused on becoming a better version of yourself every single day, people can feel that. They are drawn to it like moths to a flame. There is something magnetic about a man who is on a mission, who has purpose, who knows where he is going. Even if he doesn't have all the answers yet, the fact that he is moving forward with intention makes him stand out from all the men who are standing still, waiting for a woman to give them direction and purpose. Think about the men you admire most in your life. They might be your father, a mentor, a friend, or someone famous you look up to. What do they all have in common? They probably have a strong sense of who they are. They don't change their personality based on who is in the room. They have principles and values that guide their decisions. They are comfortable saying no when something doesn't align with what they believe in. They don't need everyone to like them because they like themselves. This is the kind of man that naturally attracts not just women, but respect and admiration from everyone around him. And here is the beautiful secret. You can become this man. You don't have to be born with it. You can build it, brick by brick, decision by decision, day by day. Start by asking yourself some hard questions. What do I actually want from my life? Not what does society tell me I should want, not what would impress people on social media, but what truly lights me up inside. What would I do with my time if I knew nobody was watching or judging? What kind of man do I want to be when I am alone? These questions are important because they help you build your own internal compass. Once you have that compass, you stop needing external validation to know if you are going in the right direction. You already know. And when you already know, your whole energy changes. You stop seeking and start living. Let me paint you a picture of two different men meeting the same woman at a coffee shop. The first man sees her, and immediately his heart starts racing. He walks over and tries to think of the perfect opening line. He is watching her face carefully to see if she seems interested. Every word he says is calculated to try to impress her. He laughs a little too hard at things that aren't that funny. He agrees with everything she says even when he actually thinks differently. He offers to buy her coffee and then offers to buy her a pastry too, even though she said no thank you the first time. When they exchange numbers, he texts her that same evening saying how great it was to meet her and asking when they can meet again. She responds politely but coolly. He spends the next 3 days analyzing that response and crafting the perfect follow-up message. Now the second man sees the same woman. He thinks she is beautiful, and he would enjoy getting to know her, so he walks over with a relaxed smile. He introduces himself and asks a genuine question, because he is actually curious about her answer. He listens to what she says without planning what he is going to say next. He shares his own honest opinions, even when they are different from hers, but in a respectful way that invites conversation. He laughs when something is genuinely funny. When there is a natural pause in the conversation, he doesn't panic and try to fill it with nervous chatter. He is comfortable with silence. He offers to buy her coffee if he is already getting one for himself, but he doesn't push it if she wants to buy her own. When it is time to leave, if the conversation went well, he might say he enjoyed talking and suggest continuing the conversation sometime. If she gives him her number, he waits until he actually has something to say before texting, maybe a day or two later. He doesn't agonize over the message. He just sends something simple and genuine. Which man do you think the woman is more likely to be interested in? The second one, almost every single time. Not because he followed some special technique or strategy, but because he was just being himself. He was present. He was confident enough to let the interaction unfold naturally without trying to force an outcome. He didn't need her approval because he already approved of himself. This is what we mean when we say don't chase. It doesn't mean don't show interest. It doesn't mean play games or act like you don't care. It means show interest from a place of abundance and self-worth, not from a place of desperation and need. Here is another truth that might be hard to hear but is so important. The woman you are chasing can feel your desperation, and it is the least attractive thing you can show her. Desperation smells like fear. It smells like lack. It communicates to her that you don't have options, that you don't value yourself, and that you are willing to abandon your own self-respect just for a chance with her. Even if she is a kind person who would never say this out loud, her attraction will naturally decrease. It is not something she can control. It is a deep biological response. We are all drawn to strength and repelled by weakness. A man who chases is showing weakness, even if he thinks he is showing dedication. A man who knows his worth and lives his life fully is showing strength, even if he is not trying to show anything at all. So what does this look like in practical terms? It means you build a life you love before you try to add a woman to it. It means you develop hobbies and passions that excite you. It means you work on your physical health, not just to look good for women, but because you respect your body and want to feel strong and energized. It means you work on your mental health, learning to manage your emotions and thoughts in healthy ways. It means you build real friendships with people who share your values. It means you pursue a career or business or creative endeavor that gives you purpose and allows you to contribute something meaningful to the world. It means you develop your character, becoming more honest, more kind, more disciplined, more courageous. When you do these things, you become genuinely attractive. Not attractive because you are trying to be, but attractive because you are living a full, rich, purposeful life. And that kind of life is magnetic. Women want to be part of something beautiful. When they meet a man who is building something beautiful with his life, they naturally want to be part of that. But when they meet a man whose whole world revolves around getting a girlfriend, there is nothing to be part of except his neediness. One is inviting and exciting, the other is suffocating and draining. We are a community that believes in your growth and your happiness. If you have stayed with us this long, I would love for you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever realized that you were looking for a yes from a woman more than you were trying to actually get to know her? And please, if you found value in this message today, help us reach 1,000 subscribers by clicking that subscribe button. Your support means everything and allows us to keep creating content that helps men become the best versions of themselves. We are here to walk this path with you. Please join our circle of friends for more talks like this, and I will see you very soon in the next video where we will continue this important conversation about becoming a man of true value and strength.